Hello friends, I welcome you in lecture number 16 on partial differential equations. In last lecture we have seen standard forms of nonlinear partial differential equations of first order, and we have discussed first standard form, and we have seen that the standard form 1 is the partial differential equation in which only P and Q are present. Today we are going to discuss another standard form, and we will see how to find out complete integral if our partial differential equation is in second standard form. And this standard form is we have those type of partial differential equations in which only P, Q and Z are present. That means X and Y are absent. So if only P, Q and Z are present, then we can write our partial differential equation in this form: function of P, Q, Z equal to 0. So let us see how to find out complete integral if our partial differential equation is in standard form 2, that is function of P, Q and Z equal to 0. So suppose the partial differential equation is of this form. So for this standard form 2, we have to define new variable denoted by small u. So we assume that small u is nothing but x plus ay, where a is arbitrary constant, and also we assume that z is function of u denoted by g of u. So z is function of only one variable u, and u is function of x and y. Also in this equation we know that z is function of x and y also, and from this also you can see z is function of u and u is function of x and y. So z is function of x and y. Now we know that small p is nothing but partial derivative of z with respect to x, which by chain rule can be written in this way: ordinary derivative of z with respect to u into del u by del x. This we have written using chain rule. We have z as a function of u and u is function of x and y. So if we are differentiating z with respect to x, first we have to differentiate z with respect to u, and in the product we have to write partial derivative of u with respect to x. Now from this we can see del u by del x is nothing but derivative of x, which is 1, and derivative of ay is 0 with respect to x. So del u by del x is 1, and therefore small p is nothing but dz by du. Similarly we can write small q equal to del z by del y, which is by chain rule dz by du into del u by del y. And from this we can see del u by del y is nothing but constant a. So del u by del y is small a into dz by du. So we obtain small p equal to dz by du and small q equal to a into dz by du. So then we substitute value of small p and small q in equation number 1, and our equation will be converted in this form: function of dz by du comma a dz by du into z equal to 0. So this is nothing but ordinary differential equation of first order in variables z and u, and we can solve this ODE of first order by usual methods. And after solving this ordinary differential equation in z and u, we will finally put u equal to x plus ay. So our solution or complete integral will be in terms of x, y and z. So if our differential equation is in standard form 2, that is partial differential equation contains only p, q and z, then we will put small p equal to dz by du and small q equal to a times dz by du, where u equal to x plus ay and z is considered as function of u only. And after putting values of small p and small q, this equation 1 will be reduced in ordinary differential equation in variables z and u, that we can solve easily. And after solving in terms of z and u, we will again put u equal to x plus ay. So let us take one example to understand this method. Find complete integral of z equal to p into q, and of course this is also, we will discuss both the equations one by one. Suppose we give this number 1, so you can see this equation contains only p, q and z, so it is in standard form 2. So we start by this, let u equal to x plus ay, and say z is function of u only, denoted by g of u. So then we directly have to write p equal to dz by du and small q equal to a times dz by du. This we will put in given equation 1. So we obtain z equal to p into q, means dz by du into a into dz by du. And if I take this constant a on left hand side, I will have square of dz by du equal to z divided by a. And from this, if I take square root on both sides, I will have square root of z divided by square root of a. We can write plus or minus to include both the possibilities. Now here this is ordinary differential equation in z and u, so we can separate it out. We consider 1 by under root z with dz, and we can take this under root a constant on this side also. That is our choice. We can either put under root a here or on left hand side because it is constant. So this is now separable in z and u, and this I rewrite as z to the power minus 1/2 dz equal to plus or minus du. So integrating, we obtain square root of a z raised to minus 1 by 2 plus 1, which is 1 by 2 divided by 1 by 2 plus or minus u plus constant of integration, suppose small b, and this we can rewrite as 2 times under root a under root z, and we put value of u, which is x plus ay plus b. So this is required complete integral, which is required complete integral in which a and b are arbitrary constants. So it is easy to find out complete integral if we have standard forms of nonlinear differential equations. For this method we have started by taking u equal to x plus ay and z as a function of u, and what we have to remember is we have to substitute p equal to dz by du and q equal to a times dz by du, and our equation will be converted in terms of ordinary differential equation. This is ordinary differential equation in variables z and u, and here this equation becomes separable differential equation, and after integration we don't have to forget to put value of small u, which is x plus ay. Let us do one more example. Z square times p square z square plus q square equal to 1. Second one is z square times p square z square plus q square equal to 1. Let me check again. Z square times p square z square plus q square equal to 1. So this is also in standard form too. Only p, q and z are present. So the first step is define u equal to x plus ay, and suppose z is function of u, say g of u, and then as we know, now we have to substitute p equal to dz by du and q equal to a into dz by du in 1. So 1 becomes, we have z square, it is p square into z square. P square means square of dz by du. Okay, let me change this bracket. Instead of this I write curly bracket. Z square times p square into z square. So this is p square z square plus q square. Q square means a square times square of a into dz by du, that is a square times dz by du square equal to 1. Now here we can take this square of dz by du common. So we have z square, and if we take dz by du square common, we will have z square plus a square dz by du whole square equal to 1. So from this we obtain dz by du square. This is equal to 1 divided by z square into z square plus a square. And if we take square root on both sides, we have dz by du equal to plus or minus 1 divided by z into under root of z square plus a square. So now we separate the variables. So this I take on left hand side, z times square root of z square plus a square dz equal to plus or minus du. So this is ordinary differential equation which is separable, and for integral of this we rewrite this as 1 by 2 z square plus a square raised to 1 by 2 into 2z. Okay, we set derivative of z square plus a square, which is 2z, so we multiply and divide by 2 for integration. So therefore if we integrate both sides, we have z square plus a square raised to 1 by 2 into derivative of z square plus a square. So integral of this is we have to increase power of z square plus a square by 1, that is z square plus a square raised to 1/2 plus 1 divided by 3 by 2, and here integral is u plus arbitrary constant. So here 1/2 will cancel out, and we will have z square plus a square raised to 3 by 2 divided by 3 equal to plus or minus u is x plus ay plus b. Okay, so this is required complete integral. In which a and b are arbitrary constants. Where a and b are arbitrary constants. So in this way, if our equation is in standard form 2, we can easily find out its complete integral. Now sometimes some partial differential equations are not in standard form 2, but by substitution of or by changing the variables we can convert them into standard form 2. So we consider this by this example. Find complete integral of this equation. So this is not in standard form 2 because we have x and y present. In standard form 2 we must have only p, q and z present. But by change of variables we will be able to convert this equation into standard form 2. So given equation is p square x square equal to z into z minus qy. So this I can rewrite as x times del z by del x whole square equal to z into z minus y times del z by del y. Now if you compare this x times del z by del x with capital del del small z, here we keep small z as it is and del capital X. Then from this we will have idea that we should consider this change of variables. Small x over del small x equal to 1 over del capital X, that is del x by x equal to del capital X. Same thing here, y over del y we will consider as 1 upon del capital Y. Okay, so this idea was discussed in last lecture also while reducing that equation into standard form 1. So we take this change of variable x by del x is 1 over del capital X and y upon del y is 1 over del capital Y. Then from this we can rewrite as del capital X is del x by x and del capital Y is del y upon y. So if we integrate we obtain capital X equal to log x and capital Y equal to log y. Okay, so we will require these two after solving. Now if we consider this in equation 1 and we have equation 1 reduces to, it will be del small z by del capital X whole square equal to z times z is small z minus del small z by del capital Y. And this we can rewrite as p square equal to z times z minus capital Q, where capital P is del small z by del capital X, capital Q is del small z by del capital Y. So suppose this is given number 2. So equation 2 contains only P, Q and Z. So it is in standard form 2, but in new variables capital X and capital Y. So we consider this transformation small u equal to, instead of small x plus ay we take capital X plus capital Y. So let u equal to capital X plus ay and small z as it is. Suppose small z is function of u. then we have to put capital P equal to dz by du and capital Q equal to A times dz by du into, and we obtain dz by du square equal to z times z minus q. Z minus q means A times dz by du. So now this is ordinary differential equation in z and u. So to solve this, we rewrite this as dz by du square equal to z square minus az dz by du. Again we can rewrite this as dz by du square plus az dz by du minus z square equal to 0, and you can see this is nothing but quadratic equation, which is quadratic equation in what? Dz by du. So therefore we have dz by du equal to minus coefficient of dz by du, which is az, plus or minus, let me skip some space so that I don't have problem in writing. So therefore dz by du equal to minus b means coefficient of dz by du, which is az, plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac. B square means square of a into z, which is a square z square, minus 4. A means coefficient of dz by du square, and c means minus z square. Divided by 2 into a, which is 2 into 1. So therefore dz by du equal to minus az plus or minus square root of a square z square, this is negative negative positive, 4 times z square divided by 2. This we can again rewrite as minus az plus or minus, if we take z square common, and square root of z square is z, and here we are left with a square plus 4 divided by 2, and in this terms, two terms, z is common. Okay, this is, so z is common, so if we take z common, and we can transfer it on left hand side, here z is common, and we transfer it on left hand side, and we transfer this du on right hand side, and here we are left with minus a plus or minus under root a square plus 4 divided by 2 times du. So this du is transferred on right hand side. So this is dz by z equal to, suppose I denote this constant by some another constant, say k, then I will have k times du, where for conveniency we denote this by minus a plus or minus under root a square plus 4 divided by 2, and suppose we give this number 3. We have used up to number 2, so suppose we give this as number 3, value of k. So it is a constant because a is a constant, and if we integrate this, integrating, we obtain ln z equal to k into u plus b. So therefore ln z is k into u is capital X plus capital A into y. For convenience we can adjust constant as ln b plus ln b, and here we substitute value of small u, which is capital X plus ay, and now we substitute value of capital X and capital Y in terms of small x and small y, which is capital X equal to log x, this one, and capital Y is log y. So we substitute capital X equal to log x, capital Y equal to log y. So ln x plus a times ln y plus log b, and this we can rewrite again as k times ln x into y raised to a plus ln b. Using property of logarithm, this is ln x plus log of y raised to a, and again using property of product rule, log of x plus log of y raised to a equal to log of x into y raised to a. Again we can take this k in the power of this x into y raised to k plus log b. So therefore log z is log x into y raised to k into b, and because log is one function, this we can write as z equal to b times x raised to k into y raised to k into a, where this constant k is given by number 3 or 4. Let me check number 3, and this is nothing but complete integral of given equation where a and b are arbitrary constants. So in this way, if our equation is in standard form 2, which is pqz equal to 0, then we can find out complete integral easily, and as compared to Charpit's method, it will be not very lengthy. And before this we have seen the standard form in which we have only p and q present. So we have discussed these two standard forms: equations containing p and q only, and equations containing p, q and z only. In the next session we will discuss one more standard form. So we stop here. I hope you like this lecture. Thank you very much.